Welcome once again to another exciting edition of your show, We Move with Super Eagles, your favorite football show that offers you a unique chance to see how Nigeria's national football team, the Super Eagles, continue their build-up for Africa's football spectacle. January is around the corner, and that's why we're getting you ready for the showpiece in Cameroon. My name is Tolu Shotade. Remember, the program is proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of Nigeria's national football teams, most especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will move with Super Eagles.
Feel the thrills, the frills, and the grills of African football as we move with the Super Eagles of Nigeria to the summit of African football come January 2022 in Cameroon, the land of the indomitable Lions. Catch all the excitement on and off the field of play as MTN, official communication partner of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, counts down to the African World Cup. Join us as we move with the Super Eagles. For more details, follow us on @MTNNG, @MTN Nigeria, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Welcome, MTN, everywhere you go.
We Move with Super Eagles comes your way twice every week from now till the tournament kicks off on January the 9th, 2022. Expect something new every week as we present lots of interesting football stories about stars of the Super Eagles and something exciting for the fans. It's about the fans, so MTN has prizes to ensure we move with Super Eagles. As always, I'm not doing this alone. I've got Bada Akitunde Johnson joining me, as always. Great to have you again, Bada.
Always a pleasure.
The fiesta is coming ever closer, and as it comes closer, we will start to get nervous at some point.
Yeah, the fever is gripping. It's a compelling competition every now and then. Serves up some great memories. Nigeria, obviously, winning thrice in the past is the sweetest of all memories, and it's that kind of memory we're looking forward to again come Cameroon in 2022.
All right, thank you very much, Bada. Bada's not the only one here. Osereme Inegbenebo also joins us as usual. Like I know, last week on the Game On segment, the fans really didn't connect that much. They didn't get the questions right. Are we expecting even harder questions this week?
We'll have to wait to find out.
That's easy.
That's it. Just wait to find out.
All right, let's get to the show proper then and start with the stars to watch at the football fiesta, which is coming up in Cameroon come January. And the first man on that list is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He is the captain of the Gabonese national team and also Arsenal Football Club in England. And Bada, he is no stranger on the African continent, might have never lit the African fiesta up in his own way, but Gabon might not win the tournament, but he is a star that everyone would like to watch.
Without a doubt, a big draw. The cameras will be on him. Arsenal's captain, one of the highest scorers in the history of the club. Gone off the boil a little bit in recent times since he signed a big contract. But before then, he was absolutely firing on all cylinders, scoring goals with reckless abandon. And his undoubted quality is there for all to see. So it's not surprising that he's one of the big names of this tournament. Goes into the tournament with everyone knowing that his team will not set the place alight, but he will be capable of that moment of genius, moment of magic that can, spark off some sort of excitement around his team. They're not going to win the tournament. I can tell you that for a certainty.
Never say that.
They may not even go. They will most likely not progress from their group. But for as long as they remain in the competition, all eyes will be on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
All eyes will be on him. Another man who is definitely set to star at the African Fiesta is the Ghanaian international, another Arsenal player. We've got a couple of them on the list today. Thomas Partey, the Ghanaian international, newly signed for Arsenal from last season. He's not going to score goals at the tournament, but he is one player after that move from Atletico Madrid to Arsenal. There's almost been like he's probably grown in number of followership he's got on the African continent. And that should resonate when the African Fiesta does kick off.
I mean, yeah, like you said, he may not be scoring so many goals, but he's a powerful midfielder, very important to Arteta's midfield. I mean, when he's on the pitch, you can see the power that he brings. It's visible for all to see. I mean, he makes impressive long passes in advanced areas, and it's so great to watch. I mean, he just recently opened his scoring sheet at Arsenal, so who says he's not going to score goals at the African tournament? I mean, if we're looking, like, unlike what Bada said about the Gabonese team not advancing beyond the group stage, maybe the Black Stars will advance.
I don't think the Black
Fingers
Stars
crossed. It's football. Never say never. Fingers crossed. I mean, but for his country, he's had about 33 appearances, scored 12 goals. So we're really looking forward to all that he has to bring to the midfield of the Ghanaian international team.
All right. It's also interesting to say that this next man on the list, I actually didn't think he was African when he first burst out. Ashraf Hakimi came to the youth system at Real Madrid. He now plays for PSG in France, one of the most expensive defenders in world football. He is African. We're proud to say that. He will be turning out in the colours of Morocco at the African Fiesta. But this is a guy who undoubtedly is one of the best fullbacks in world football. He's a major, major draw going into the tournament.
Without a doubt, when you're lining up alongside Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, there's got to be something great about you. One of the most talked about footballers of the last 2 years, especially in the transfer windows. Of course, he went to Inter. Last season helped them to win the Scudetto. There was a lot of talk around him going to Real Madrid. But then PSG splashed the cash. And he's now one of the, if they have their own Galactico, one of them now playing just behind Lionel Messi in the blue for PSG. And at this tournament, a lot of followers of African football across the world will be looking to see how Ashraf Hakimi on the international stage brings all that newly acquired reputation, so to speak, to bear on the Atlas Lions. They're not as formidable as they used to be. They're not as fearsome or feared even as they used to be on the African continent. But if there's a dark horse that can spring a surprise or two, they always have the quality. Most of their players probably, have played more in France or in other parts of Europe than they played on the African continent. But just as a unit, they haven't quite hacked it in a long while. And everyone will be looking to Ashraf Hakimi and Hakim Ziyech to provide the magic to propel the Moroccans way beyond what they've achieved in the most recent history.
All right, as you said, Hakim Ziyech, he comes straight into our stars to watch list. He plays for Chelsea, and ever since making that move, he hasn't particularly set the English Premier League alight. Remember, at the last African tournament, he was supposed to be the guy to drag Morocco to the title. Just had a fantastic season with Ajax. They made it all the way to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League that year. Ended up missing the penalty in the game that he got eliminated in, and everyone hung him out to dry. He's back now. He obviously has a point to prove at this tournament.
Honestly, I don't think he's been forgiven for missing that penalty just yet. And he has, exactly like you said, a point to prove. But it's 50-50. I don't think he's in the best of form. I mean, if you take a look at his performance right now in Chelsea, it's nothing to write home about. He's yet to stamp his foot in that club. Look at the game they played against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. He was one of the worst, like, I don't want to use the word worst, that's a bit too harsh, but I mean, he didn't perform up to expectation. I mean, he did get an assist in that game and all, but we expected so much more. I mean, moving from Ajax to Chelsea, he performed so well in pre-season, and I'm sure that's why Thomas Tuchel felt, obviously.
He did pick up that injury.
Yeah, he did. Well, and I think the media is crucifying him so much because I've watched him play, and I think after that shoulder injury, let's even forget about the pain. I think it's his subconscious, because when you watch him play, it's almost like there's a limit to his movement, his acceleration, and it's like it's really affected him. That game, he could have, actually forced his way into Thomas Tuchel's mind with was Lukaku being out, the Movena being out, but he was just floating. So if I'm to give him like a star rating for the African tournament, I won't really say he's a star to watch, maybe just a to watch.
All right, one man who's been much maligned going into this African tournament is the Arsenal winger, Nicolas Pepe. At the last African tournament, he'd just been fresh off signing for Arsenal, so everyone was keen to see what all the noise was about. He led that little team really nicely. A couple of years on, he still hasn't hacked it at Arsenal, but he is still one of the guys who you look at in the lineup going to an African tournament and saying, oh, he definitely is a star. He cost a lot too.
Yeah, it cost a lot. One of the costliest players from Africa ever. Yet to hit a consistent run of form for Arsenal. At the back end of last season, he was in such impressive form. Last 10 games, one of the best players in the Premier League, without a doubt, but hasn't exactly hit the ground running this season. He's a player who divides opinion because his quality is not in doubt. It's just the consistency and the application, you know, always wanting to, you know, drifting infield when he plays on the left side, and it becomes too predictable and easy to, you know, mark out of the game. He's got pace, he's got trickery, he can score goals, he can bend some incredible ones in, but he doesn't do it consistently enough. He doesn't even show that he's interested enough sometimes. But if you look at that Ivorian team, on one side, Wilfred Zaha, on the other side, Nicolas Pepe, there are not a lot of teams on the African continent with the kind of quality that they've got. So you feel like if they do click or peak at the right time, he can draw inspiration from the performances of the others around him, and as a unit, they can go on and do something great at the tournament. Even the last time out, if they had gone far and had won, for instance, the criticisms would have been less. But because they crashed out, the overall disappointment had to be blamed on someone, and of course, he was an easy target.
All right, the good thing is, the last man we will call is the Nigerian international Kelechi Iheanacho, plays for Leicester City in England. But all the guys we called, who are some of the players to watch at the tournament, thankfully, they will not be playing the Super Eagles at the group stage or tournament. So if we play them, we'll be probably further into the tournament. But Kelechi Iheanacho is the next man on the list, plays for Leicester City, Nigerian forward. Opinions still split about whether or not he's the man to really have a regular shirt in the Super Eagles. He's scored 11 goals in 35 appearances. Still not the first name on the sheet, if you would be really honest.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't take away the fact that Senior Man is a fantastic forward. I mean, 22 goals for
club.
22 goals for Leicester City. That's impressive. I know he hasn't had so much playing time this season, and for club, most of his achievements come from last season. But you can't take away the fact that for country, he turns up. Like I said, 11 goals. And with the guys like Osimhen, you wanted to say something?
Well, why does he play? Why do I get the feeling he always plays better playing for Leicester than he does playing for the Super?
Oh, no, but that's not true. He turns up for club. He turns up really, really good. I mean, but for Leicester, I think we can say that for most players. I think most players always turn up for club more than they do country, most times. Okay. Honestly, they do. But for Kelechi Iheanacho, I mean, he's an integral part of that team that we can't go to the African tournament without. He's an integral part. He'll be providing assists, definitely, and he will definitely be scoring goals as well. And the spotlight may not be on him as much as it may be on Osimhen and Onuachu and the rest of them. But Senior Man always delivers whenever he's called upon. And you look like you don't believe me because you're just going...
No. When you said club and country, I know one man who delivers for club and country.
And who would that be?
But Johnny Gallo.
Oh, no, here we go again.
All right, so let me just go to the crowd very quickly. And opinion is split around Kelechi Iheanacho. We actually talked about him. Is he the kind of player you look at for Nigeria and think he should be starting games for the Super Eagles? Let me ask the man in glasses at the back there. Do you think Kelechi Iheanacho is the guy who, going into the African tournament, you think will be a real star for Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Well, for me, if you look at the way he has played so far, both club and country, he's one guy that any day, anytime, he's always delight to watch. Kelechi Iheanacho in the class of Super Eagles, any day, anytime, he's a threat to any defender. So for me, having him in the class of Super Eagles would be a great boost to the team.
All right. No, I don't think everybody supports you. Let's talk to the man just right by your side. Do you think Kelechi Iheanacho stands out as one of the players to watch for Nigeria at the African tournament?
Well, for me, I think what she said the last time, players do like playing well in the clubs than
country.
So I don't think he's going to do well. For me, in Super Eagles, I don't think he's going to do well. But in clubs, they play extremely well. But when they come to their country, they'll start. You get.
All right, I like you very much. Thank you very, very much for that. Let's move on then. Now we move with the Super Eagles takes you into the world of the national team stars. You know them as footballers and have never been an opportunity to see the other side of the players. Relax and enjoy this edition of the program, which opens up the stars to you. Super Eagles standing captain Watford defender William Troost-Ekong, a national team colleague, and West Bromwich Albion defender, who's also Serema's really good friend, Semi Ajayi, share their lives outside of football.
I like pounded jam and goosey soup. That's probably my favourite. I always used to eat that as well when I was a kid. So yeah, the Nigerian food is not new for me, and I really enjoy it. So whenever I'm here, I think some of the guys maybe joke about it. I'm always going up for second plates, but I love Nigerian food.
My favourite probably ayamase with white rice and plantain.
I spend a lot of time now with my son and my fiance. Got my hands full with that, so it's not a lot of time besides playing football to do anything else. So it's a lot of family time, really.
Right now, I'm feeling Zlatan Ibile. I like his music. Burna Boy also, Wizkid, Davido. Starboy Day for you.
I think overall, I enjoy listening to techno. I like Burna Boy, of course, Wizkid. But I'm always up to date. I've got my my Afrobeats playlist, and yeah, whenever there's a new song, I try to yeah, get it. So yeah, I'm in tune with the music, and I enjoy Afrobeats.
To hard work and continue to do what I've been doing all year.
Unfazed about playing against any player. I'm not scared, or I don't lose any sleep about playing against any player or any team. That comes with the experience I've got now, playing on the big stage and playing against good players, which also probably gives me a sense of calmness when I'm playing, and yeah, a feeling that I'm ready to play against anyone and in any situation.
I remember then, when they asked me, oh, what do you want to do in future? I always say I want to be a newscaster.
There are a lot of times I've told Trust that I don't believe you can't see.
Trust is always ready to do something extra. He's always coming out to say, can I do a bit more?
My mind was, where will this stop? How can I be going with a blind child from this age? How will I cope? He will always come to me, Mommy, I know I can't see, but don't bother, Mommy.
My wife now said, let him just go to village and relax. As they were going, they had accident. And the one that Trust was following, I lost the boy in the accident. When the scholarship came, it's as if they put water on a dry pot. That's how our joy was bubbling. If not, I don't know whether Trust could have graduated with his colleagues.
Life is a journey. You have to make that journey work.
Welcome back. We move with Super Eagles, like you know, is proudly brought to you by MTN, official communications partners of Nigeria's national teams, and most especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Next up is the story of a man who has become synonymous with the Super Eagles, recently named as the most capped player for Nigeria's national team. We Move with the Super Eagles brings you something special. Determined to lead the Super Eagles not just as the captain of the team, but also a patriotic Nigerian, Ahmed Musa has a message for the Super Eagles manager, Gernot Rohr, about his readiness to play any position during the tournament in Cameroon. And that's very, very interesting. It feels like Ahmed Musa is starting to fade out of the team, but he's not 30 yet, which is the funny thing. And he still seems to have bags of pace, still seems to play really well for the Super Eagles. Why isn't he getting into the team? Why does he need to send a message to the manager?
End product. What's the number of assists? What's the number of goals he's contributed? As a wide man, that's what you are judged by. And
is he a wide man?
Yeah, that's where he plays best. He's quick. He can get in behind with his pace. If you have creative players in the middle who can find, you know, those channels, he can run the channels. On occasions, he's been played down the middle, trying to get him to pretty much play like Theo Walcott was doing for Arsenal. But his finishing is not great. He doesn't know how to finish. Apart from, you know, his World Cup record of the number of goals he scored for Nigeria, which will lead you into thinking that he can be prolific. But on a consistent basis, Ahmed Musa doesn't have the killer instinct. He's not a lethal finisher, and he's probably never going to be. So where is his best position? Out wide on the right or out wide on the left? And when you play in those positions, the end product, the quality of your delivery, finding the man with the cross is always going to be key. So when he says he can play anywhere, no, you can't. You can only play in two positions, in my own opinion.
But from his days at youth and later Kano Pillars in Nigeria Professional Football League, Musa has operated as a utility player from midfield to both sides of the wing, and also he played as a striker one time when he did go to Leicester City. And he tried fatally to use him as a striker.
Never worked.
Never really actually worked. So Musa may not operate as a central defender or a goalkeeper, so that's out of the question. But trust him to deliver even as a winger in the modern day style that football is being played.
Any way the coach wants me to play, I always get used to it. But any day, anytime, anything can happen that Ahmed Musa is going to play in the top striker, so we're going to stay and wait for that time to come.
What's the difference between regular data and MTN data? I'll show you. With regular data, you get this. But with MTN data, you get moved right into the action like this. And this. And this. And this. With MTN data, you don't just get more, you experience more. Need loads of data to live your dream? Turn it up on MTN, the reliable data network.
Well, you are still locked on to We Move with Super Eagles, and this, of course, is powered by MTN. Now it's the segment of the show where we test your football knowledge, but this time around, the freebies in this segment go to our lovely, lovely audience. Give yourself a round of applause. So, all right, bring it down. Okay, I know you're super excited. It's freebies, of course, everybody likes freebies, but it's not that simple. I'm going to throw a question to you, and if you have the answer, you just pick up the microphone and give the answer, and the freebie will be yours. So, are we on the same page? Yes. All right, let's get right into it. First question. In 1980, who coached the Green Eagles at Africa's biggest tournament in which they emerged champions?
Otta Gloria.
Give her a round of applause! Even I didn't think anybody was going to get that, but okay. On to the next question. Who were Nigeria's first opponents at Africa's biggest tournament in 2019? ...2019, like the last one, not just 2019 here. Anybody? Nobody? You want to try?
Argentina.
That is incorrect. Thank you very much. The answer is Burundi. Yes, Burundi. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. There you have it, folks. That, of course, is a wrap on the Game On segment. Looks like I'll be taking the second freebie. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. All right, can we have our lovely winner come and receive her gift back? So this, of course, is for you, Kotsi MTN. What do you have to say to MTN?
Thank you very much.
Oh, she has such a lovely voice. You can go back to your seat. Get to your seat first now. So that will be all today, guys. I get to take the second freebie home. I would have loved to give it to someone, but it could be you next week in the studio. Follow the conversation on our social media platforms. That's at MTNNG on Instagram. Facebook and YouTube is MTN Nigeria. And it's over for me. Tolu, to you.
Thank you very much for your time. My name is Tolu Shotade. It's over to the DJ now for some very good music as we end We Move with Super Eagles.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day.
Can you
another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, but life is just a knock me back. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover.